Hey guys, so I'm in my husband's truck, so I don't have no things up here, so hopefully this thing stays. But here are some things that we have to unlearn first in order for us to learn certain things next, right? And we got to unlearn how to work hard for money, right? We've been working hard for money our whole life. So we got to unlearn that, because that's our belief. And too many people work hard for money and they ain't got none. It's just crazy, right? Then we got to change our belief. We got to literally unprogram ourselves of all the beliefs that our parents gave us. So if our parents told us that the only way you're going to ever make money is if you work for it, then guess what? We got to unlearn that, okay? If we only learn that a job is the only way to make money, we got to unlearn that, right? If we learn that rich people are greedy, then we have to unlearn that. You know, here's the thing, friends. You know, I just did a video, on Instagram, and on YouTube. And I said, we have to, we develop our parents' money blueprint. And developing our parents' money blueprint, they didn't get that much information on getting rich. Well, my parents didn't. My dad told me to save for a rainy day. Listen, guys, I always tell you, every day is a damn rainy day. My kids come home from camp and my other one comes home from her summer youth program and ain't no food in the house. That's a fucking emergency. And my kids ain't trying to hear, oh, Ma, you ain't got it, okay? So we got to unlearn certain things first, friends. It's like we got to take time to unlearn the mindset that we have around getting rich and working hard for money and being able to have freedom, right? And if you only saw your mom struggle, then you're most likely struggling. I can tell you as a young girl, my mom used to always say, like, she was broke, she was broke, she was broke, she was broke. That's what I used to always hear. And my mom used to say, she don't have it, 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 she gotta wait, she gotta wait. And I thought money was something that you only get once in a while, right? I didn't know money was this thing where it flows easily and effortlessly. I didn't know money was something that you can get every day, every hour of the day. I didn't know money you can get while you sleeping. I didn't know none of that, right? All I knew about money as a young girl growing up was my mom never had enough of it. She always was broke, or she always had to wait. And my dad used to say, save for a rainy day. So that was it, right? So as I got older, I'm saving for a rainy day, but also I'm always saying, I don't have it. I used to tell my daughter when I used to be a single mom, I don't have it. And as I got older, and my cousin introduced me to network marketing, and she introduced me to business and becoming a business owner, that I realized that, wow, money's everywhere. Hold up. Wait, why my mom didn't know that money was everywhere? So my mom didn't get the proper information. See, schools, college, trade schools, none of that teach us what money really is. So we continue to work for it, right? So my mom never told me, anything like that. So it was kind of like a foreign language when I heard someone say, that you can get money while you sleeping. I'm like, well, shit. Show me how to get some money while I'm sleeping. Because if you can show me how to get some money while I'm sleeping, I ain't gonna go to this fucking job. This dead-end job that I hate. I used to be a social worker. I hated that shit. I hated that fucking job. It was terrible. Okay? So I said, show me how. But the problem was, when I started my first network marketing company, I didn't have no business skill set. My mindset and my money blueprint was set to broke. Okay? I had a low thermostat to attract money, so I didn't know anything. So in that business, yes, I failed. Even though I was in it for 2 years, the experience that I got was priceless. Connecting with millionaires, connecting with people who don't have a job, who's not interested, in a job, the people that work for themselves, and they're building organizations to help other people work for themselves. So the experience of the 2 years, even though I didn't make no money in that company, the experience of being in that company for 2 years helped me to change my mindset as a business owner. And then I started to say, you know what? I can get rich. I can make $5 grand a month from home. I can make 10 grand a month from home. I can make 20 grand a month from home, right? So I started doing the things. So I had to really, it took me a very long time. It took me 3 years to realize that money is literally everywhere. That money comes from people. It took me 3 years after starting my business. That money comes from people. It took me 3 years, friends, of trying to figure this thing out. It took me 3 years, friends, of trying to understand money. But what I didn't realize is that I had to unlearn my money ways. I had to unlearn my money ways. If I was only used to making 30 grand a year after taxes was 15 grand, and every time I got paid I had $2 in my bank account, that's how I thought I was gonna live. And that's a struggle, and that is bondage, right? So we got to take the chains off of our minds, but we can't be scared to do it. Too many of us are scared. Like I said, friends, it took me 3 years to unlearn being broke, unlearn like living in lack. It took me 3 years to unlearn it first, then learn the new information, right? See, babies, they have nothing to unlearn. Whatever the baby learns, that's what they run with. That's what they go with, right? Babies don't have to unlearn nothing because their brains are like a sponge. So they learn everything as they're living every single day. But now we're an adults, okay? We are adults now, friends. And being an adult, we already have ways that we already set in. We already, friends, have ways that we are already set in. So now, this is why it took me 3 years to unlearn working hard for money, unlearn living in lack, unlearn, okay, living check to check, unlearn what I learned from birth to 25 years old about money. Then I had to find a coach. I had to find a mentor. I had to find someone that knew how to make money. Then I was able to understand it. I was able to change my money blueprint. Now, this is 3 years after I started my business. And this is why I tell people, right? If you want me to help and coach and train you on the things that I learned, I can help you cut out at least a year or two of the mistakes that I made, right? This is the purpose of a coach and a mentor, is to cut out the years of headache, okay? To help you get right to it. The problem is people have the lack mindset. They're not willing to unlearn fear. They're not willing to unlearn, because fear is learned too, right? So they're not willing to unlearn the money blueprint that they have to now get a new one. So now they struggle and say, you know what? I'm gonna try to figure it out on my own. And then 2 years later, they worse off than they was 2 years prior. You have to have someone that is where you want to be. This is why I constantly read books. I constantly listen to audios. I always go to events. I'm always traveling. I'm always looking for ways to uplift, empower, and inspire people. This is what the purpose of a mentor is. Hey, lady. This is what the purpose of a mentor is, to cut out years of headache and mistake. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to go through headache. I'm not saying you're not going to go, through mistake, but at least you won't make as many because you have someone to tell you this is how you do it, right? This is exactly how you do it. If it took you 5 years to learn how to tie your shoe by yourself, a mentor can teach you how to tie your shoe in 2 years. But you got to be coachable. You got to be trainable. You got to be teachable. Too many people say they coachable. Too many people say they trainable. Too many people say they teachable, and they're not. Too many people say they're coachable. Too many people say they're trainable. Too many people say they're teachable, and they're not. So this is why we have to unlearn, right? So I'm going to be talking about this. This is critical too. I'm going to be talking about this in my Black Wealth 101 class, okay? It's $20 a month. Stick with it for a year, okay? Unlearn the money thoughts. Unlearn the lack mind. Okay? Unlearn working hard. Right? I make money while I'm asleep. Right? I make money while I sleep. Today is what? Friday? And I have affiliate companies that I'm with. I have network marketing companies that I'm with. And most of these companies pay on Friday, friends. I have my Amazon business that literally runs on autopilot. I wake up to money. I go to sleep to money. Right? So now I don't have money worries. Right? I don't have to worry about, oh, my bills need to be paid. I can't pay my car note. I can't pay my car insurance. No, friends, I don't have that worry now because I spent the time to unlearn. I got the mentoring to unlearn so that I can learn the right stuff so that now my 16-year-old daughter can reap the benefits of me spending the 3 years to unlearn. Now my 16-year-old made $300 selling her bracelets in a week. Come on, guy, what you doing? Right? So you don't just learn this you don't just unlearn stuff for you. What about your children? It's too many people don't have a plan for their children. You don't even have an IRA. You ain't got no life insurance. You ain't got no real estate. You ain't got no investments. You ain't got shit set up for your kid. Because you haven't taken the time to unlearn the stuff that has kept you in bondage. Believe me, friends, if I wouldn't have unlearned and spent over 50 grand in mentoring and coaches and classes and books and audios and seminars in the last 5 years, guess what, friends? I wouldn't be able to share this knowledge and this wisdom with you guys. Because I'll still be living in lack, I'll still be broke, I'll still be living check to check, and I'll still be hoping for a raise. When you know better, you do better. When you know better, you teach better. When you know better, you show others. That's why I tell people information costs. Information costs. Information costs. How good is your credit? Right? Credit is another thing that also is a part of our money blueprint. How many people, moms, got bad credit? My mom got terrible credit. My grandmother got terrible credit. Guess what? So when I did get old enough to get a credit card, I just fucked my credit up. Right? I never heard use your credit to build your business. Use your credit to get a line, of credit for $250,000 at the bank. What? I never heard that before. Not until I got into business. Not until one of my mentors said, you need to get your credit up. You need to get other people's money. So it's a lot, friends, that we have to unlearn first. And once we unlearn first, now we can learn new information so we can do new things, right? Help people, right? Because God put us all on earth to help. God didn't say, oh, get all this information and guess what? You're the only one prosper from this information. No, God didn't say that. God said, right? Once you get rich, you can also help others. Or once you, build a better life for yourself, you can go help others. But you can't help a soul being broke. You can't help a soul living in lack. You can't help a soul do nothing because you ain't doing nothing. That's why when people tell me, oh, they're trying to help their mother, they're trying to help their father. How are you helping your mother and your father and you struggling? So you're just going to continue to struggle. How are you trying to help your sister and cousins and you broke and you struggling? You get money. You get money first. Then you can help others. If you ain't got no money, you can't help nobody do nothing. If you were living check to check and your mom need $500, you can't help your mom. You can't help your mother. You can't help your church. You can't help nonprofits. You can't help an organization. You got to help you first. This is why I focus on changing this, unlearning, right? The garbage, because it's garbage. Especially if you're not where you want to be. You learned a bunch of garbage that's gotten you in the garbage hole. And now you're like, damn, how do I get out of this garbage hole? Now you have to unlearn. You got to step back. So say if you're in this hole, right? And the hole is deep. right? Now you got to say to yourself, I got to unlearn all of this stuff now. I have to unlearn, so that now basically you got to take 20 steps back. And people don't want to do that. People don't want to take 20 steps back to leap forward 100 steps. People don't want to do it. So guess what? What do? They just keep going with the same information year after year, month after month, week after week, day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, second after second. People don't realize that they are in bondage until it's 55. It's 65. After you lived your life of lack. Now you're saying, what the fuck? I need something to do. I gotta do something better. But at 55, 65, friends, you don't have the energy. For real. Your mind ain't thinking as quick as a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old. And then, if you don't see your way out, and you only see yourself getting another job after you retire, guess what? A lot of baby boomers kill themselves. A lot of baby boomers kill themselves. People 55 and over realize they don't have nothing to show for the 40 years they worked at their job. They done paid the government. They done got the government richer. Meanwhile, they got poorer. This is why you have to unlearn. Once you unlearn, now you can learn. Right? Once you unlearn, now you can learn. Once you unlearn, now you can learn. This is not rocket science, guys. Unlearn. Take 10 steps, 20 steps back. To learn, to unlearn, to now learn something new that can leap your ass 100 steps forward. So that 20 steps back don't mean shit. Because the stuff that you unlearn, taking that 20 steps back, and the stuff that you were learning now propelled you to 100 steps forward. So now you way ahead. But most people too scared. They fear of the unknown. And that's something else we got to unlearn too, baby. It's true. Okay, so I invite you to join my Black Wealth 101 class. Commit for 12 months to unlearn some things. And then learn some things. Okay, so go to blackwealth101.net.